Good afternoon to Ananda. In previous session, we have discussed the different concepts of the embedded system, classification of embedded system, difference between the microcontroller and microprocessor, hardware and software, and sensors. Let us come to the remaining concepts of the embedded system, that are activators. So activators. What is meant by activator? Activator, it can be used as transducer. What is meant by transducer? Transducer is a device which converts electrical signal into original form. That is known as a transducer. This activator can also used as a output device. This activator can also used as a output device, and this can be used to the controlling purpose, and it can also used for the monitoring purpose. Activator is a form of transducer. What is meant by transducer? Transducer which converts the electrical signal into the original form, and it can be used as a output device. Sensor which is acting as an input device, and the actuators which is used as an output device, and it is used for the controlling purpose, and it is used for the monitoring purpose. This is the activator. Let us come to the classification of activators. Types of actuators are classification of activators are multi-turn actuators, part-turn actuators, linear actuators. Next one. What is meant by multi-turn activators? What is the transducer? Transducer which converts electrical signal into original form. So here multi-turn, turn means transmitting, multi means number of torque values. Here torque is the sending the information between the certain place with the certain destination. That is, torque is the one of the certain position. So it's transmitting the number of values from the transmitter to receiver. Multi-tone activator, it is transmitting the number of torque values from one device to another device, or one place to another place. So it is capable for withstanding thrust. Means withstanding, it can stand in one position, so it can stand in independently, and it also used for the automation of multi-turn values, and it can be used in the gate values. Next one, part-turn activators. Multi-turn activators transmitting the number of, that means more than one torque value is transmitting. Here part-turn means less than one it is transmitting, but it does not capable for withstanding, so it does not stand alone. So part-turn activators, it moves from one device to another device, it cannot stand and withstand position. So next one, linear activators. Major representative of this type are control values. So this can be used in the for example, real-time examples are plug in the bathtub. If you press any plug, so water can be heated, so water level will be controlled. So this can be used in the plug in bathtub. So this is the linear activators. This is the classification of actuators. They are multi-turn actuators, part-turn actuators, linear actuators. What is meant by multi-turn activator? Actuator which is acting as a transducer. That means multi-turn actuators are transmitting more than one value from one device to another place, and it can stand in withstand position, and it is used for the controlling and monitoring purpose. And let us come to the part-turn actuators. Part-turn actuators, it can transmit less than one from one value to another value, torque values. So it can be used in different types of applications also, but it cannot withstand alone. So that is part-turn actuators. Let us come to the linear actuators. Linear actuators are used for the controlling values and can be used in the plug-in bathtub. So this is the classification of the actuators. Next one, communication interface. What is meant by communication? Communication, it is the interaction between one person to another person, or it is sending the information from one point to another point. So here interface means it is the connection. If you want to send any information from one person to another person, for example mobile, so if you want to share any information between the two persons, here interconnection is the mobile is used for sharing the information from one person to another person. So that is known as a communication interface. So interface, it is nothing but a one connection. It may be a wireless, LAN, MAN. So this is the communication interface. Communication interface means interacting various subsystems. Here communication interface is the device interacting with the various subsystems and the external world, and sending the it is communicating with the some subsystems and receiving the information, and it is sending to the external world. So that is known as the communication interface. Here communication interfaces are classified into different types. They are embedded based on the product communication, based on the board level communication, based on the external communication interfaces. So these are the different types of communication interfaces. The communication interfaces are for embedded product communication, device board level communication, product level communication interface. Let us see onboard communication interface. What is meant by onboard communication interface? Onboard communication interface, it can be used as a channel and interacts with the various components, and it receives the information and sends to the other devices. So that is known as onboard communication interface. Onboard communication interface means it is acting as a channel with the various other components, between the various other components, and receiving the information to the, and sending to the product. That is known as onboard communication interface. For examples are like I2C, IR, Y, parallel bus interface, and serial bus interface. And serial interfaces means it's sending the information from serially, that is one by one. If one information is transferred and the next information will be transmitted, and parallel means sending the one by one sequentially. So that is known as parallel information. Next one, external communication interface. External communication interface, these are the embedded system which may be part of large distributed system. That means external communication interfacing means it is requires interaction and transfer the data between various devices and submodules. What is meant by external communication interface? It interacts with the other devices and receive the data and transfer the data from one devices to other devices. That means one other devices to submodules. That is known as external communication interface. Here product level communication interface is responsible for data transfer between embedded system and other devices or modules. Previously we have seen this is the product level embedded system. Product level embedded system. Product level embedded system. Product level embedded system, it receives information and transmits the other devices. So like examples are infrared, Bluetooth, wireless LAN, Wi-Fi, radio frequency waves. These are all the applications of external communication interface. What is meant by external communication interface? It interacts with the other devices and receives the data and transfers the data from various devices to other submodules. That is known as a external communication interface. For examples are, we are Wi-Fi, we are using radio frequency signals, infrared and Bluetooth. Radio frequency signals are like TV and radios. Next one, onboard communication interface. We have discussed the different types of application, that is parallel interface, serial interface, I2C, and these are the application. Let us come to the I2C. I2C means inter-integrated circuit bus. Bus means generally you can talk about the RTC bus. RTC bus which is carrying the person from one destination to and transmitting to the one other destination. No? So like that, integrated circuit bus. Integrated circuit means it is a bidirectional half duplex. Bidirectional half duplex two-wire serial bus which provides communication link between integrated circuits. That means it gathers the information bidirectionally. That means in this onboard communication interface, inter-integrated circuit, it uses the bidirectional half duplex. Bidirectional means similarly at a time you can receive or send the information in, and one it was designed by Philips Semiconductors in 1980s, and it is easy way of connection between microprocessor microcontrollers. It is the easy way of communication between microcontrollers and microprocessors, and this is responsible for the different types of informations like shared bus information, and responsible generating synchronization of clock pulses and commands the master and receiving the commands like this. And next one, it can also support the multi-masters on the same bus. It can also support. And next one, external communication interface, that is infrared. Infrared is serial half duplex line of sight based wireless technology for data communication between devices. That means it receives the informations and can be shared the information between TVs, ACs, it can be used as the interface between the TV remote control of AC works on the infrared data communication principle. This external communication interface which can be used in the remote control of TV, ACs. IR uses infrared waves of the electromagnetic spectrum for transmitting the data, and it supports point-to-point and point-to-multipoint communication. External communication interface which supports the point-to-point and point-to-multipoint communication. Next one, it can uses the power. It can uses the increasing transmitting power of the IR device, that is ranging from 9600 bits per second to 16 Mbps per second. Next one, what is meant by embedded firmware? Embedded firmware means controlling and monitoring purpose. This is another topic. Embedded firmware, this can be used in the embedded system devices, and it is used for the controlling and monitoring the systems. If it is mainly designed for controlling purpose. What are the characteristics of the attributes? Next one is quality of attributes. Next topic is quality of attributes. Quality of attributes which is consisting of some characteristics. It can be used in specific domain, specific application domain, and it can be used in real time. It can be used in harsh environments. It uses the power concerns. It is a small size and weight. These are the characteristics of the quality of attributes. Application and domain specific. Here we have the different types of characters. Application and domain specific, reactive and real time, operates in harsh environments, distributed, small size and weight, power concerns. Let us discuss about the application and domain specific. Application and domain specific. Application means these characters can only work in the specified application only. It cannot be used in the same application in the another application. For example, if the application which is used in the micro ovens, it only uses in the micro oven only. It cannot be replaced in the ACs. So this is the application and domain specific. If you use in the specified domain only, it cannot be used in the or cannot be replaced in the other applications. This is the application and domain specific. There is no confusions. If you read once, you can understand the embedded system subjects. Next one, reactive and real time. Reactive means it is used in the real time applications. It will takes the user defined applications. It takes some user defined applications and monitor and control the embedded system. This reactive and real time embedded characteristics which can be used in the flight controls, anti-clock brake systems. A real-time embedded system means timing behavior of the system and should be deterministic. The system should respond to requests in a known amount of time. Next one, operates in harsh environment. Harsh, that means this can be used in the harsh environments like shock absorption techniques. These are all used in the some high temperatures. This is used in the high temperatures, and all the components should used in the high temperature grades. Next one, distributed. It means the embedded system may be a part of larger system. This distributed embedded characteristics can be used in the automatic vending machine. It contains card reader, vending unit. For suppose it can be used independent units, so it can perform their own itself. That is known as distributed embedded characteristics. Next one, it has this some characteristics, that is small size and weight. Small size and weight, product at aesthetic, size, weight, shape, style, etc. And it is convenient to handle a compact device that a bulky product. In embedded domain, compactness is a significant deciding factor. Next one, power concerns. Embedded system requires some power concerns. So it cannot be used large power. So it used in the some power concerns. Embedded system should be designed in such a way as to minimize the heat dissipation by the system. If the embedded system takes the power consumption, it takes the more power, it will be get short circuit. That's why it requires some power concerns. And to minimize heat dissipation by the system. This is the power concern. This is the most important characteristic in embedded system. Next one, quality attributes of embedded system. Quality attributes are the non-functional requirements that need to be documented properly in a system design. Previously we discussed the characteristics of quality of attributes. What are the characteristics for the quality of attributes of embedded system? Some quality of attributes which is having some characteristics, that is small size, power concerns, distributed, real time, and these are all the quality attributes characteristics. What is meant by quality attributes of embedded system? Quality attributes is the non-functional requirements that need to be documented properly in a system design, and it can be classified into different types: operational quality attributes and non-operational quality attributes. Quality attributes can be classified into two types. They are operational quality attributes and non-operational quality attributes. This is the classification of quality of attributes. It is having the operational quality attributes: response, throughput, reliability, maintainability, security, safety. Non-operational quality of attributes are testability, debugability, availability, portability, time to prototype and market, per unit and total cost. Per unit and total cost. Let us come to the operational quality of attributes. It is having the different types there. First one, the response. First one, response. It is the measure of quickness of the system, if the system is responding or not, and at what time it is represent, at what time it is response. So that is the important of the quality of attributes. Response, if the system is responding or not, it can be checked by the response. So it can be used in the flight control applications. Here the time of response is important. That for example, a flight control application, if the flight is moving from one destination to another destination, if the any weather changes are there in environment, so at that time flight has to response. Flight the flight has to response. So at that time it has to be response. It is the one of the most important quality of attributes in the flight systems. Next one, throughput. Throughput, it deals with the efficiency of a system. That means if the system which is operating effectively or not. This is the overall stated period of time. Overall stated period of time. This is it can be defined as rate of production or operation of a defined process over a stated period of time. That means, for example, in case of card reader, throughput means how many transactions the reader can perform in a minute or in an hour or in a day. And for example, if you are doing the any transaction like banking system, in banking system, this is real time example is throughput. For the throughput, real time example is banking. For 1 hour, how many transactions are sending? For 1 minute, how many transactions are we are doing? That can be processed or measured by the using only throughput. This is known as a throughput. This can be measured in terms of benchmark. Benchmark is refers to the measurement. This is known as throughput. Next one, reliability. For any system, reliability is the most important, because of if the system is reliable, it can operate and it can gives the correct outputs. That is the for that only reliability of the system is important characteristics. Here we have the reliability which works under between the two, that is MTBF, MTTR. MTBF means mean time between failure, mean time to repair. Reliability works under the mean time between failure. If the system is failures and if the system will get any repair, so it determines it determining the system reliability. MTBS gives the frequency of failures in hours, weeks, or months. MTS is how long the system is allowed to be out of order following a failure. So you can understand what is the difference between MTBF. It gives the frequency of failure in a hours, weeks, or months. MTTR specifies how long the system is allowed to out of order following a failure. So if you are using any system, if it will fails, it can be specified by the MTTR. If you have having any system failures, it can be if you are getting any repairs, it can be measured by the MTTR. And if the system is having the any failure, it can be determined by the MTBF. This is the reliability works between the MTBF and MTBR. Next one, maintainability. Maintainability is also the similar to the reliability and maintainability. So maintainability is also the important factor. If you are buying any systems, it has to maintain carefully. If you are getting any repairs or failures, but that means the system reliability is not good. So we have to check before buying the any products. We have to check the reliability and maintainability, and I also know about the maintainability of the system. This is the maintainability. Next one, security. So if embedded system applications are, it can be used in the militaries also. So in the militaries we have in military systems we should have security. So that means if you are having any information, it should be maintained secretly. So that's why we are using the security. With security, confidently, integrity, availability are the three major measures of information security. Availability deals with protection of data and application from unauthorized users. Security, it uses the availability deals with protection of data and application from unauthorized users, and integrity deals with the protection of data and application from unauthorized modification. What is the difference between confidentability? Confidentiality deals with the protection of data and application from unauthorized disclosures. Integrity deals with the protection of data and application from unauthorized modification. And availability deals with the protection of data and application from unauthorized users. This is the security. Next one, safety. If you are buying any products, you have to check the about the safety. So it can be used in the publics or any private environments. We have to check about the safety. Next one, non-operational quality of attributes. Before we discuss the operational quality of attributes, now we are discussing about the non-operational quality of attributes. They are testability and debugability. And before buying any products, we have to test and we can buy. So testability deals with how easily can test and design, and it can be used in different controlling purposes also. So hardware systems and functioning of the system, firmwares, these are all the testability, comes under the testability of the system and debug ability. Next one, availability which is comes from the biology. It measures the measures of the system independently, and it is portable device, and it can be used in various environments, and it can be used in target process and embedded operating systems. This is the availability. Next one, time to prototype and market. It is the time elapsed between the conceptualization of a product and the time at which the product is ready for selling. That is the time to prototype and market. If you are designing any products, it has to provide the prototype and at what time it is ready to get into the market. So that is known as the time to prototype and market. Next one, for unit cost and revenue. Here the cost is also important. If you are designing any products, it should be cheap and best. So for cost and revenues is also important. These are all the different concepts of the embedded system first unit. In today's session we have completed the first unit. First unit concepts are, first one, once again I am giving the brief overview of the first unit of embedded system. We having the history of embedded system, classification of embedded systems, hardware and software, purpose of computers and purpose of computers, firmware, quality of attributes, communication interface. This is the syllabus of the first unit. Next session we can discuss about the second unit of the embedded systems. If you are having any doubts, you can contact and I can provide the material. Thank you, Anya.